happy hashtag Cold Beer Sunday, but more importantly, it's Doctor Who Day. Welcome to the Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
And this is our weekly Doctor Who discussion show. We are going to review each episode as we go along. And this is the premiere episode with the 13th Doctor, and it's called The Woman Who Fell to Earth.
And that's exactly what she
did. That's
did.
exactly what happened. These are going to be non-spoiler reviews, but we're going to do our best not to spoil them, but we might be super excited and might say something. So we're not going to spoil, but there's a lot to talk about in the first episode.
Yeah.
And all the lead up and everything that happened. So
you should probably go watch it first just to be safe.
Yeah, definitely. If you didn't watch it with the simulcast, it was kind of fun because we go to commercial.
And we'd both be on our
We'd
phones.
both be on our phones. And I'd be on Twitter, she'd be on Facebook, and we're trying to read all the reactions to the hashtag and everything. And then you could tell who didn't have commercials and who did have commercials.
Yeah.
And so there was some stuff that was, some people were on Twitter from Sheffield, which is a big part of this episode, who was like, "Oh my God, I know what that is," and that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
And so I had to turn off after a couple of commercials because I'm like, "Oh, they're playing ahead."
Spoilers.
But let's start off with talking about Jodie. I mean, she is the Doctor, and she is the first female Doctor, not the first Time Lord. That's something different, but the first Doctor. And what did you think?
I thought she was amazing.
She's awesome.
Yeah. I love her. I leaned over him. I'm like, I love her faces. She kept making these little, scrunchy.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Especially when she had the goggles on when she was making the Sonic.
Yeah.
And she was, it's in the trailer, guys. She makes a Sonic. It's awesome. But she had the goggles on and her face like, she walks out with the robe on. She has like half a Capaldi's clothes on,
Yeah.
So I love that.
I was like, how did Capaldi's Doc Martens fit Jodie Whittaker? Right. Either he's got really small feet or she's got really big feet.
So the coat and the shirt were too big, but the pants and the boot fit.
Right. Because it'd have been hard to do what she was doing in shoes that were too big. Right. So, it's fine.
I really liked how each regeneration is handled a little bit differently.
Yeah.
A little bit different, but they all have a reoccurring theme amongst them, and that is the Doctor has to figure out who they are in the opening episode. And Capaldi was like off the rails the whole time.
Yeah.
And Matt Smith was like trying to figure out who he was and trying to figure out who Prisoner Zero was, and that's how we got Amelia and Rory and stuff like that. Tennant, though, slept.
Yeah. Well, and Matt Smith, he was a little crazy. That's how we get fish fingers and custard, right? Because he's like, nope, I want an apple. Oh, this is disgusting. I want ice cream. He kept going through everything. And then he gets back in the TARDIS and supposedly leaves for like 20 minutes because the TARDIS needs to... It regenerates with every Doctor too, but he's actually, spoilers if you haven't seen this one, he's actually gone for like 10 years.
2 years.
No, she goes from 12
to
like 20 or whatever. So he could have been doing all that stuff on the TARDIS, right?
Right.
I mean, still 20 minutes for him, but whatever. But I think this is the first time that the Doctor... Maybe in the older ones, probably in the older ones, but the first one in the new set of Doctors where she has had to hit the ground running. She's like, I got to figure this stuff out.
Even Capaldi, when he hit the ground, the TARDIS gets spit out by the T-Rex.
Yeah.
Even that one, he's out for a while and he's discombobulated and he's not like, he's figuring out who he is with all the stuff going on in the background.
Right.
This time, she's the Doctor is in the middle of it. Like, as soon as she lands in the middle of an alien invasion.
Right.
Bang!
Capaldi, they had Strax and Madam Lizard Lady. They were the ones...
never remember their names.
Dealing Potato Guy, Lizard Lady, and
her lesbian wife.
And her wife. Had to deal with the T-Rex, and Jodie Whittaker's like, I landed and now there's And I mean, she looks at them. They're all like,
Yeah.
they're all like, ah. She looks at them, and she turns, hey, alien.
You just fell out of the sky. That's a long story. I'll get to it later. It was a great line. I also appreciated Jodie's kind of dry, witty humor.
Yeah.
Like they get in a cop car at one point in time in this episode, and she's like, "Can we put down the lights and sirens?" And the officer's like, "No,
no."
They started the episode by introducing the three companions first.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a kind of a bold choice since they've been making such a big deal about putting Jodie out there in front of everybody through the advertising and the cons and stuff like that. And they've been kind of holding the companions back.
Yeah.
Now Jodie, the doctor, it's called Doctor Who, so
right.
it's about the doctor.
Right.
But they made a point of starting with the three companions.
Yeah.
And they started with Ryan Sinclair. Of course, there's a Sinclair and not British show, right? They start with Ryan and his kind of introducing him as via a YouTube show.
Right.
And kind of what we do. Well, not what we do, but he's talking about the day, like he's talking about the most important woman in his life.
Yeah.
And you automatically think it's the doctor.
Right. Spoilers.
But then they introduced Jasmine.
No, Graham's next, because Graham is his...
Oh, Graham's his
step grandpa?
Grandpa, whatever, which makes for an interesting dynamic with how the two of them are. Like Ryan still hasn't really accepted Graham as his grandfather and stuff like that.
He's
so that
my
kinda,
nan's husband.
Right. And so there was kind of an interesting thing. And then they introduce Jasmine.
Yasmine.
And Yasmine. And the doctor's like, I'm going to call you Yaz because we're friends, right? Okay, good. And walks off. But her as a police officer, I like that kind of dynamic too. Because having the...
Yeah, so she's going to be the ethical, logical, we have to do this the right way. Graham's going to be they've already said, I just want to sit at home in front of my telly and eat my dinner.
Yeah.
And Ryan's going to probably be the more like, he's younger and he's kind of like, woo, let's go do all the things.
He's also, they have a scene at the beginning where he's trying to learn how to ride a bike and he's in his mid-20s.
Yeah.
And they make a point of saying that he has like a coordination.
It's like autolexia,
something like that, whatever, where he's not coordinated enough. So I'm not going to use that example. I envision him as I won't say bubbling idiot, but he's gonna
comic relief, maybe.
He's gonna be the one who's gonna stumble into problems more often than not.
Yeah.
And then everybody's gonna have to come, like Yaz is gonna have to come in and save him.
Yeah. And
I really expect somewhere down the line that there will be a relationship between Yaz and Ryan because they were friends from school and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Rory and Amy, but they've really tried to kind of stay away from that.
Right.
They did. David Tennant and
Martha Jones.
No.
Donna.
No. Blondie from 9.
Oh, Rose.
There you go.
Yeah, Rose.
I love you.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see.
The big bad in this one, Tim Shaw. We're not gonna spoil who Tim Shaw is or what's going on there. A lot of people online were like, it's an advanced Cyberman. It's advanced Cyberman. And then they
well, and we said the same thing when he first appeared. We're like, is that a Cyberman? But no,
it's not. And I liked him as a bad guy because it gives it. They're going to set it up this year as each episode as their own standalone thing. So this was the monster of the week kind of feel to it. But also he was there was peril, but not enough peril that the doctor can't figure it out while she's still trying to regenerate and figure out who she is and stuff like that.
I think she that was a good way to figure out how to, because I was like, how is she going to deal with, but yeah, right. She got it.
The couple other things that I wanted to point out in this episode, they made a joke about her having a smaller brain, and they kind
Did
of
he just say I have a tiny brain?
yeah, they kind of leaned into the criticism of a female doctor and stuff like that, and then like pretty much two middle fingers to everybody, and just kind of went with it.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Well,
and
there was so she's picking out her clothes, and she said, "It's been a long time since I've had to buy clothes for a woman."
yeah,
What?
yeah,
Huh?
yeah. That hasn't they've had that with the master.
Yeah.
And the doctor, the master at one point in time was a woman, and then was the master for a while, and then came back as Missy. So they had that kind of dynamic with that, but
you've known the doctor supposedly since the beginning, right? So when
that was an interesting line. Overall, really, really, really happy with this episode, and really happy with Jodie and the introduction and everything. It may seem a little ABC Doctor Who-y, but they've already said you can jump in if you've never watched Doctor Who before and get into it.
Right, and I don't expect them to do like, Moffat tended to throw a lot of stuff in for the diehard fans that had been watching 3 seasons ago, and they'll make a reference. I don't expect a lot of that at all in at least this first season, if this director does it at all.
Right. Chip Null was the one who wrote this one, and so he really made a point of not references to Capaldi, but nothing else.
Yeah.
And so I really appreciated that. Although, I mean, we've talked about this in the past on our shows, that we like to have little things thrown in that we can catch and stuff
on
like
down
that.
the road they might.
They
but
probably
this
will.
First one,
they did the preview for the next one, Space Cowboys.
Yep.
And where they leave this episode, they and then they just went into the.
We're like, wait, it's over.
That was the end, and no credits were rolled, no whatever.
Nothing.
And so I was like,
Later tonight, supposed to be an extended version.
Yeah.
A reshowing extended version. So we'll watch that.
Yeah. Well, because we're gonna do the rest of the day is watch Doctor Who probably. So what do you guys think of the first episode of Doctor Who's new season with the 13th Doctor, Jodie Whittaker? Let us know. Leave us a comment. Tell us your thoughts on Jodie, Doctor Who, all of that stuff. We'll be doing one of these a week with each episode, even when we are in York. We're going to figure out how to make that work. So, I don't know. We'll fake it somehow. And please, while you're here, subscribe to the channel. We are Whovians. If you're a Whovian, please do that, because we will be sharing a lot of Doctor Who stuff. And subscribe to all of our social media stuff. Facebook, PopCultureCult, PopCultureCult1 on Instagram, at @pop_cult1 on Twitter. We're also in the Stardust app, where you can just react to everything you're watching. Just download it for free. Follow us first. That's it. We're into the season, and we're excited. Till the next time, good afternoon now. Woo! Woo!